side quarter-finalist is into the third round, where he will meet Stephen Burton. Over on board 2, Willie O'Connor of Ireland has beaten Jan Dekker 6-2. And Willie's into tonight's fourth round. We will have the draw at the end of this session. Remember, it is a completely open draw, FA Cup style. Anyone could meet anyone tonight. We love that aspect. Well, let's hear what has been going on, particularly with another Riley's qualifier down in the multi-board room. Dan.
Well, I've got news of a couple of Riley's qualifiers, actually. One of them is currently taking on Jose de Sousa. That is Lewis Williams. Now, de Sousa is one of the most dangerous players outside the top 32. Of all the players in action today, Jose de Sousa is one of the most dangerous. He's won a couple of PDC ranking titles, but he's been given a schooling by a lad who only just turned 18, well, back in January, in fact. Lewis Williams, 4-2 up, the student, 4-2 up on the Portuguese #1. But let's show you some of the action that we've seen already, starting over on board 8. And Joe Mernon booked his place in the draw tonight. Karol Sedlacek, the Czech player, beaten by 6 legs to 3. Just a board or two down, board 5 in fact, it was Ryan Joyce who was a convincing winner, averaged more than 99 in that game, saw Jordi Maywisser by 6 legs to 2. The average was even better from Alan Tabban, the veteran, who's beaten the informed Steve Lennon of Ireland by 6 legs to 4. 100 average for Tabby there. I think that's the first one we've seen here on the outer boards, but what a story this is. Coming up in a moment, Riley's qualifier, Rhys Hayden. He's won his third game of the day, 6-2 against Tony Alcinas, the last man to beat Peter Wright at a World Championship, and I caught up with him just after his match earlier on. Rhys, what a day this is turning out to be for you, in the hat for the fourth round, and you could be up against Van Gerwen, Wright, anybody. Who do you want?
Any of them.
That's it? You do not care?
No, I don't care. Anyone from this stage is going to be a good player, so I'll take anyone. Look, they're all there to be beaten.
You've played some BDO stuff, you've played Youth Tour, Challenge Tour, that sort of stuff, but getting into the fourth round of this must be right up there in your biggest achievements in darts, isn't it?
To be honest, just qualifying for this was... I played good darts to qualify and I was happy with that, and I come here, didn't know what to expect, never been here before. I went over the other side of Butlins this morning. I had to walk back again because I didn't have the shirt ready, and I thought, oh, what's all this? Like, second game on, and I was getting a bit agitated because my practice weren't how I wanted it to be, and I'm grinding. I'm grinding the wins.
Well, look, who is Rhys Hayden? Tell us. There'll be people watching at home who know who Van Gerwen is, they know who Peter Wright is, but tell us who you are, because you could be going up against them tonight.
I'm Barry Lynn's best mate.
Oh, and we know what he did here.
I'm good mates with Barry. And all week, since I qualified, I've been saying, I want your record. I want it.
Well, Barry Lynn...
Barry's watching.
Barry Lynn, a bin man who beat a world champion here at the UK Open. You're a painter and decorator from Essex, same part of the world. You think you can do... Same town. Yeah. You think you can do just what he did?
I hope so. Who knows, eh?
Absolutely superb.
See how the draw goes.
Well, look, he's won 3 games already. This man has a chance of going up against Michael Van Gerwen or the world champion Peter Wright, or maybe Gerwin Price. Who knows? Or defending champion Nathan Aspinall. Still no preference?
Go on then, give me Van Gerwen.
Give me Van Gerwen, that's what we like to see. Good luck.
Aha, he said it in the end, didn't he? Why not? Give me Van Gerwen. And we will find out at the end of this session who will play who tonight. So that is a Riley's qualifier definitely through. And Lewis Williams, you can see there, is playing Jose de Sousa, or de Sousa, as Dan calls him. He's just gone 5-3 up. So Lewis Williams, who is born in Swansea, but now a student based in Liverpool, just 18 years of age. He is 1 leg away from the big time tonight. We'll keep you posted on all those other matches. We are now into round 3 on the main stage. All of the 6 players we'll see in the next hour or so are playing their first matches of the weekend. Kim Huybrechts against Robert Thornton, and Josh Payne against Luke Woodhouse still to come. But first, last night's Premier League contender Luke Humphries plays K.Anderson. Here's John with the introduction.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome back to the action. We are coming to you live on ITV Sport from Butlins, Minehead. St Ladbrokes UK Open, where it's time now to meet the players. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome forehand Luke Humphries and the original K.Anderson.
So the winner here will be in the hat for tonight's 4th round matches. To talk us through it, Mark Webster and John Rawling.
Thank you, Jackie. Well, what a great night Luke Humphries had down in Exeter last night, beating K.Anderson, and so becoming the first man to be effectively invited to play in the Premier League on a one-off basis to actually produce victory, beat K.Anderson 7-5, and for Luke, well, he'd be very proud of that. K.Anderson, the original Australian, based in the Chesterfield area, 32 years old, the older man. Had a 9-darter on ITV4 a couple of years ago, and in previous meetings between these two, Kyle has the advantage. The original leads cool hand Luke 2-0.
Yeah, they were both meetings last year, but since then Kyle's suffered a bit of a dip in form, and he's only played 2 events this year, and he's blanked in both, and he was concerned about his form at the back end of the year. He really struggled in the World Championships to get by his first round, eventually losing to Steve Beaton. It's a big commitment for K.Anderson. Spends a lot of time away from his family, but he's been home, recharged the batteries. He's had a month or so with the family, so hopefully now he's back and we'll see the real K.Anderson this year.
43. Luke Humphries, twice in the quarterfinals of the Worlds in the last 2 years. It was his biggest payday of the last recent memory. 50 grand he picked up for that performance, getting to the quarterfinals. And he says he's pretty happy with the way he's playing right now. He said that win against Gary yesterday, not a flash in the pan. Says in all the floor tournaments he's been playing, he's been averaging something just over 98, which indicates that he's playing a pretty solid game.
More than solid, a 98 average. But that's the little clinch people criticise for Luke, that his floor game isn't up to scratch. So I haven't seen him in the World Match Play or the Grand Prix yet, but the last time we saw him on this stage, he was lifting silverware. He became the World Youth Champion when he was a convincing win against Adam Gaulas here in November.
Gets an invitation to the Grand Slam on the back of that.
Yeah, he does deserve as well, and he backed it up with a great run at the World Championship, consolidating that quarter-final from 2019, doing it again in 2020. So does perform on the big stage, Luke Humphries, and he proved that last night in Exeter as well.
Well, Kyle, with the opportunity of a break of throw here, nothing Luke can do about it, and that's a pretty handy setup. On to tops, Anderson. Humphries just looking to try and just apply a bit of pressure on throw, though. Kyle poised for the break.
Good setup from Kyle. 12 darts throw. Tops remaining. He's just got to convert. Oh, that was a bit of a wild one. I'm not sure where that bounced out from. Crossed to double 10.
I suspect from the accusing look that he gave the dart, it was right off the wire. There you go.
Was it? And just threw him a bit.
This would be a steal. Tops. Double 10.
45.
Oh, chance missed, and he knows it.
These are important moments for K.Anderson. When confidence is low, when you're not in great form, can't let opportunities like this pass you by. That's 4 darts with the leg missed. He converts to the 5th, and deservedly breaks through in the opening leg. K.Anderson leads by a leg to nil.
Needed that one. Well, Luke would love to be able to strike straight back. It's one of those little quirky pieces of information which maybe not everybody knows about, as Kyle makes a decent start to this second leg. Luke's dad is a massive Leeds fan, and Luke, in case you didn't know, stands for Leeds United Kings of Europe. Thoughts?
Well, I did hear, yeah, I mean, less said about Leeds the best, really, isn't it? But someone's got to support him.
I think they're going to get up this year, and I say that as an admiring blade from our lofty position in the Premier League.
Yeah, I think they're due to return, haven't they? They've been away for too long now, so to speak.
Certainly pleased Luke Humphries. Kyle with his nose ahead in this second leg, and needs underlining, I suppose, every time in these matches at this stage. 11 is a quick format, and Anderson is going well.
It certainly is. It's a good opening. Looking to consolidate that break. And he's got 6 starts at the 164.
Luke looking a bit accusingly at the board and at his arms and at his darts. Can't understand where the good form of last night has just disappeared, and that's a bit of a let-off, and he can jump right back into this leg here.
Needs a treble, just use a finish. Need a finish, and he does. He rescues it with the last start, but Kyle's probably, you'd say, got away with that last visit. Only 1 treble needed in this combination, which will be over to treble 18. So Bull, he's not going, he's took the percent.
Well, he set it up, and that's a little bit of a contemptuous dismissal of Humphries, who'll think I'm going to capitalise, but he's not quite been able to do it. Well, that was a gamble, and again he's got away with it.
Yeah, he has. I seem to recall Kim Huybrechts taking that gamble in the World Championship against Luke Humphries, and he was punished, but Kyle escapes and doubles his lead, and it proves to be a good gamble for Kyle Anderson.
The original, of course, bit of rhyming slang, if you like, with Aboriginal. Kyle Anderson very proud of his native Australian antecedents. And Luke Humphries just hasn't really flowed at all in this match yet. We're only in the 3rd leg, but his average stands at 81, and by his own elevated standards, well, we all know he's capable of huge amounts more than that.
Real slow start from Luke Humphries. Just got to be careful here, because this game could run away from him.
120.
Unlucky that last dart, you heard it click off the barrel of the second dart, very nearly the opening maximum of the match. That's more like it.
I feel Luke Humphries, with this leg being on his dart, well, has to hold throw, but Kyle Anderson again very unlucky with the last start, but looking really fluid, looking confident. See a confident Kyle Anderson on the stage.
178, not a finish though, but oh dear, that's almost looked at a careless visit from Luke Humphries. 178, he's on a finish, Humphries, but well, this is just a setup, so it's the big one.
Yeah, this is a big ask, but that's plenty of room. Again, same with the 142 in the previous leg. The first out opened up the bed and he couldn't follow it in, so Kyle now, so 3 legs on the spin. Importantly, 2 of them would be breaks of throw.
Tops then for 3-0 for the Australian. And he only needs the 1 dart to do it. 3 out of 7 on his doubles, and he's halfway there. Luke Humphries, he'd have been the favourite for this one against an out of sorts Kyle Anderson, but Anderson 3-0 up, only 3 more needed.
13 dart breaker throw from Kyle Anderson, taking his average up over 97 now.
91.
Good cover shot with the treble 17. Humphries needs to show what he can do. He's got to start finding big numbers soon, or it's going to be all over. Gesticulated towards that 3rd 20 then, which went into the treble, as much as to say, yeah, there you are, what about the other 2?
44.
Yeah, and you mentioned in the previous leg when he set up the 170, he just seemed to be a little fed up throwing them darts. If frustration's kicking 58. In, and that won't help.
Well, when I was chatting to him earlier on, I mean, he seemed in such a good place after his win last night. I suppose he'd have got back up here pretty late after that, which maybe doesn't help, but
42.
you know, here we are in mid-afternoon, and you'd think he should be brimful of confidence.
Yeah, definitely, because he had a little bit of history last night, the first challenger contender to win in the Premier League stage, and
Indeed.
it was the 4th match of the night, so it gave him plenty of time to get down. He should have got a good rest. He knew he was on sort of late in the afternoon, so I think Luke will be using that one as an excuse. It's not going to plan for Luke Humphries.
Vincent van der Voort just won on board 2. Well done, Big Vincent. Well, again, an indifferent visit from Humphries. But he's got a chance of a break here, Mark. And this is one he needs to take. Oh, good stuff.
Yeah, he has, but Kai with those last 2 darts, leaving the 140. We've seen him hit a treble first dart, and he's got the second one, so tops for the 145. And Luke Humphries, what a way to get your first leg on the board. And he claws one of those breaks and throw back.
Well, that's more like it. That's what Luke Humphries is capable of producing, and that's why he's been classified and seen as one of the real emerging young talents in world darts. 145 in that situation, absolute quality.
And at that speed as well, it just looks so easy from Luke Humphries.
140.
Kyle's got a real business-like look about him at the moment, though, but I guess the situation's going to really, or the questions are really going to be asked in a leg or two's time. At the moment, it's kind of the phony war, if you like. When the pressure's absolutely on, then can an out-of-form K.Anderson maintain his nerve?
It's a good point, John. I think when confidence is low, it's the back end of matches when things are tight.
132.
That's when the pressure tells, but he's playing well, K.Anderson, but Luke's upped it now. His average up towards 93.
Oh, unlucky. That is a treble, he'll think, on the floor. And again, that accusing look at the offending dart. Treble 19 he's looking for. That would have brought him the bullseye, but not on this occasion. So, 141. He knows how to do it.
Yeah, we've seen a 145 in the previous leg from Luke Humphries, but we're not going to see a 141. So Luke Humphries now will get 3 darts, a double top, to claw back to within 1.
And this will make him feel very, very much better. Here comes the young lad from Newbury, and there it is. Tops achieved. It's 2 out of 3 for him on the big double 20. And it's now 3-2, and he's right back in there, you sense.
Yeah, and what Luke Humphries did well, when he had his throw broke, he got one of those breaks back straight away. Not allowing Kyle to get in a position of comfort. K.Anderson knows he's in a real game now.
123.
And the standard is really being hoisted higher from both men. Who's going to blink? The big scores coming from either side.
100.
Does Humphries just have a little bit of a sense of momentum now? In fact, he's playing another Anderson. I wonder.
Good point. But he's upped his game, hasn't he? His average was down towards the low 80s. The 2 and a bit legs. His average up towards 96, Luke Humphries now, but Kyle's averaging around the 96 mark in himself. It's a real good tight encounter.
Well, we talked about
84.
how K.Anderson would respond when the pressure is on. This is arguably, I think, the biggest leg of the match so far. Humphries already on a finish, Kyle on 207, and how he wants to put that 120 under pressure. Oh, that's unlucky, the last start, just the wrong side of the wire. Well, this would be huge.
We've seen a 160 from Jeff Smith already today. We're going to see another one, Luke Humphries. And we see a 160 to back up the 145 from the 4th leg from Luke Humphries, and 3 legs on the spin now. Levels this match.
A smile of admiration and the fist pump from K.Anderson. These 2 lads get on well, but Luke Humphries, after an indifferent start, is now right back into the swing of things. Anderson would love to hit right back straight away right now. And that's a good start.
It's good to see Kyle acknowledging the finish. Good guys, these two.
A 145 and a 160. That ain't shabby.
Oh, when they were needed as well, John, weren't they? Because he was trying to dig himself out of the hole, Luke. He hadn't started well. They were big finishes at big moments in this match. Both players playing really well.
77.
Averages for those who like to know such things. Humphries just over 98, 99 now. And K.Anderson, there you see, 96.33. Not a lot to choose between them, and neither of them so far. Kind of a little quirky stat to add on that. Nobody's got a 180 yet.
No, I was just looking at that then. We've seen the big finishes and some big scoring, but still not neither of them hitting a maximum. But it's a game littered with quality.
Oh, beautifully working his way round the board there to set up double 18 when he returns to get his nose ahead in this match. K.Anderson can do note about it. And so here comes Humphries, loose last dart. This one for 4-3 and to take the lead in a fluctuating match, and he's come surging back and now hits the front. 4-3, 2 more needed.
Real good spell from Luke Humphries from 3 legs down. Really upped his game, and this is what he does. He plays games, plays legs and sets in spurts, and he's certainly done that here, Luke Humphries. You see him do it at the World Championship. He could whittle off a set in no time, and he's whittled off 4 legs in the blink of an eye here.
That's not what he wanted to do on the back of that, though. Wanted to keep Anderson under the cosh and not able to do so. And Kyle given an opportunity to regroup on throw. Of course, the last thing he needs now is another break of throw for Humphries. But right now, it's looking as though the match could conceivably go all the way.
Deserves to go all the way. It's been a real quality encounter.
Yeah, you don't like to second guess too much, but when I saw that we were doing this one, Mark, I look at it and I thought, yeah, this is going to be a goodie, and it's showing that. Again, the elusive first maximum goes begging.
Yeah, like you said, John, it's one of the ties that jumped out from the draw. Particularly the game coming up next as well, Robert Thornton and Kim Huybrecht. So tough games, and we're losing some real top players early in this competition.
Well, that ain't doing much.
21.
That is pretty much a bag of nails from the very talented Luke. K.Anderson now to square up the match. Come on, he says, double 10. He's got time on his side, but he needs, well, now what's he going to do here? And he decides to bust it and leave it where it is, and Luke can't do anything apart from just edge closer. That was a bit unlucky. Kissed off the barrel. So tops.
Yeah, for Kyle to stop the rock. 4 legs on the spin. Down for 10s. Big dart for K.Anderson. And a good dart from K.Anderson to level us up. 4 legs apiece.
Slightly squeaky time, as the great man once said, isn't it? He had to keep his nerve together then. And that is not the start that Luke Humphries needed. Anderson looking to jump all over that, and that's a great first dart. Can he fill it up? No. Muttering away to himself, chuntering away at a ton. Well, it's advantage Anderson, but he's not quite smashed that indifferent first visit. But Humphries is giving him every opportunity.
Worth a mention as well from the outside board. Another Riley's qualifier, the Welshman, Lewis Williams, has defeated Jose de Souza. So he goes into the draw tonight. Joins fellow Riley's qualifier, Rhys Hayden. So big moments for them too this afternoon in Minehead.
This match absolutely on a knife edge. Humphries just about ahead. Anderson needs to hit these trebles and can't find one so far. Coming upstairs, that is a chance which has gone begging.
Yeah, that was an opportunity, letting Luke Humphries off the hook, so he'll stay down there. Brilliant visit from Luke Humphries. Yes, we haven't had a maximum in the match, but that is as good as a maximum at this stage.
Yeah. And having been under real pressure, this is a great response though, and that is the real maximum. First of the match, now 94, this for 5-4. Great dart, tops, double 10. And yes, Humphries keeps his nerve and goes within one. Quality.
What a passage of play from both players. A 1-7-1 from Luke Humphries to set up the 94. And that was either side of a maximum from K.Anderson. So both players are responding on the business end of this match. It deserves a last leg, you feel, John?
Well, I'm sure Luke Humphries would think very differently about that, but I'm sure that the fans watching who've enjoyed this one, we've enjoyed it, I'm sure you're enjoying it, and we'd like to see that deciding leg, but Anderson's got to close this one out.
Yeah, he's got to force Luke Humphries to throw for the match. Said Luke Humphries will be eager to get the job done in this leg. It's Kyle who's favourite for this leg at this stage.
Dart. That'll do nicely. First down to a very makeable checkout.
Yeah, needs another one to leave the 170. It's K.Anderson who's first to finish the 1-2-1.
Wrong side of the wire.
It'd been interesting to see if Kyle had gone for the ball had he set it up, or because he's been gambling in this match.
Luke's had a 145, he's had a 160, but he can't get the 170, so Kyle will get another opportunity. But now you sense he's going to have to get this.
Yeah, starting the bullseye, K.Anderson. 17 for tops. Tops are 5 apiece. Massive dart for K.Anderson, and again.
Oh dear! Almost off the identical place where he had a bounce out before.
I was going to say, yeah, it's the identical spot for K.Anderson.
This is for the match. Just 20 would leave tops. Tops then, the intake of breath. This to win 6-4. No! Almost made a mess of it with the first dart.
Yeah, and you feel that K.Anderson deserves this opportunity. Just steadying himself. Tops the force of decider. It's a good guide. He's got to use that guide. Going further away. Last start to keep himself in the UK Open, and he converts. And we go to our last leg shootout. And it's Luke Humphries who's got the darts.
Nervy stuff that was. Nervy stuff. And Luke will think he should have won that match, but he's got to put that behind him and go from here, which he is doing. Brilliant first visit.
Fantastic from Luke Humphries, the perfect start when you throw in for the match. And K.Anderson will be devastated to hear that maximum call from George Noble.
First maximum that was for Luke Humphries in this gripping match. And now looking to capitalise after an indifferent first visit from Anderson, but he's not done so.
So a big visit from Kyle. Get himself back in it. He needs another one. Plenty of room. Didn't use that guide well.
Still advantage Humphries on throw. Great first dart. Plenty of space. Just over pitching with the second. The third is perfect, and he's moving closer.
And only a 180 can leave a finish for K.Anderson, but that's a good start. Oh, so Luke Humphries knows he's got 6 darts minimum at 123 to book his place in tonight's 4th round draw.
He could have gone for it with the bullseye, but he's just elected to set it up with the 18.
It's the right choice, and all K.Anderson can do. The treble 20 needed to leave a finish, and it's not going to be, so Luke Humphries has plenty of time to book his place in tonight's draw.
Surely, surely. And it is, coming from 3-0 down. Look what it means to Luke Humphries. Good match, very easy on the eye, played in nice spirit as well, and a sporting hug between the two men. K.Anderson, who's not had the best of times lately, he really pushed Luke all the way, but Humphries, when he got into his stride, showed that in this tournament this weekend, he is very much a man to be reckoned with, and wins it 6-5.